the release of a Canadian man, his American wife, and their 3 children from captivity. We don't have the third child, a little girl born just 2 months ago. But there you see Joshua Boyle, 34 years old, his wife, Caitlin Coleman, 31, and their 2 sons, 2 and 4 years old, all 3 of the children born in captivity. The couple abducted nearly 5 years ago to the day as they backpacked and went into Afghanistan and have been held since by the Haqqani network. I want to bring in Habiba Nosheen, who is one of our journalists with the Fifth Estate. And it was Habiba who confirmed after speaking to Joshua Boyle's father, Patrick, that the family has in fact been released. Habiba on the line from New York this morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Heather.
Good to have you on the program. Of course, you've been our guest previously, but on this very important breaking story. Tell me more about what you learned from Patrick Boyle.
I mean, we've been following the family story over the last year, and this is a very private family who has really been thrust into this extraordinary situation, and you really could sense their suffering when they have been doing everything they can think of behind, closed doors to try to get their family back. I mean, at one point, Patrick talked about what it's like to learn that you have grandkids by watching a hostage video. I mean, this family has clearly been through a lot. We know that the Pakistani military is stating that they, in fact, did the rescue operation. And we know that family had been moved from Afghanistan to Pakistan a number of times over the 5 years to try to prevent a rescue operations like this one.
So what we've learned, at least in the statement from the Pakistani army, Habiba, was that the most recent move was just yesterday when they were moved somewhere in northwestern Pakistan, but we're not sure exactly where or exactly the nature of the rescue operation. When you spoke to Patrick, other than his confirming the family had been freed, did he give you any detail about how it happened?
No, he just responded with, "We're not there yet." I think this is a very, very private family, and they are still trying to deal with the details of being reunited. You have to remember that even if they have been rescued, it's very possible that they have actually not been returned home. So that's the family is, I imagine, going through a lot to try to reunite with their family members who they haven't seen for 5 years, and their grandkids who they've never met.
Exactly, and we've learned in reporting in the Toronto Star that there are in fact 3 grandchildren, a little girl, a baby girl, just 2 months ago. So all 3 born in captivity. I asked if he was aware of anything because that's an important issue, I suppose, as U.S. diplomats, FBI agents, Canadians as well, working to secure their release. Was it a rescue operation, or were they freed because of concessions made? That's a distinction that we'll have to make, right?
I think the army is definitely, Pakistani army is definitely claiming that this was a rescue operation. So, and that seems consistent because the Haqqani network had consistently held out releasing them because their demand was a prisoner exchange, and who they wanted was Anas Haqqani, who's the brother of the Haqqani leader. And that gentleman had been captured by the United States, and the chances of him getting out in exchange for this family was very, very slim, and everyone covering this knew that. So that's why it's been such a difficult, agonizing 5 years for this family, because the demand was simply out of their hands. They could not have made that possible, that exchange and that demand.
And Habiba, again, speaking earlier, as you did, by telephone with Patrick Boyle.
So we were, Heather, just to correct, we have been communicating via text and email. The family is not ready to talk on the phone.
Okay, all right, sorry. So communicating by text, and it was he who confirmed to you that the family had been released as to corroborate what we've been hearing from the Pakistani military this morning. Was there any indication in any of those exchanges the condition of the family, of how they are, or when they might be returning, or any of those further details?
I'm betting that that's being worked out at the moment, so I don't know how much the family knows yet. this is something that they've been planning for. I know this, having spent time with them. They've been planning for this day for 5 years. So right now, I think they're just figuring out the details of how to bring their family home.
And methinks you will be figuring out the details of a big investigation to come on this on the Fifth Estate. So, Habiba, I thank you very much. You've been in contact with the family, moving our story coverage along, and Habiba Nosheen from New York City there on the phone with me as she works on the story for us. Stay right here with us.
Hi,
the very
Michael.
latest on the breaking news. Canadian Joshua Boyle, his American wife, their 3 children, they've since had a baby girl, all rescued yesterday, repatriated at their country of origin is all that we're hearing so far, but said to be safe and sound and in good condition, according to the Pakistani army. Stay with us for ongoing coverage on CBC News Network.